Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to your Elevated Living Show. So excited to be on today. I have one of my best friends in the whole world on with me today, Miss Christine McDowell Hayden. How are you, Christine?
I'm awake. I'm here. It's daylight savings, so I'm
Right.
awake. I'm awake earlier than usual.
I know we're on an hour earlier today, so hopefully people will tune in and realize, especially if
Yeah.
you're not in San Diego like we are, it's definitely much easier to tune in and connect. Everyone coming on, let me know you're here. Let me know how you're doing. Go ahead and share the show out. Cindy! Yes, Cindy is one of my clients, and she's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful woman. So happy you're tuning in, Miss Cindy. Everyone come in, say good morning, say where you're from. I am so excited. Good morning, Heather. Good morning. So Heather was commented yesterday about how she can communicate. She's learning how to communicate with her animals as well. She's working on getting better, but yeah. Good morning, Nancy. Everyone coming in, share this out. I want as many people as possible to learn more about animal communication. This is a very unique niche in the spirituality world, and one of my bestest friends in the whole world here, Miss Christine, is phenomenal. And she's also my Reiki master. So I'm like so excited to get this show going today. We have Katie Bray's on. What's up, Katie? Good morning, Mama. Good morning. Good morning, Cindy. So excited for everyone coming on. This is the first time that Christine is out there, being featured as an animal communicator. Although she's been doing this for years, and like I said, she's also my Reiki master, which is she's one of the most important people in my life.
Aw,
And I'm so happy to have you on today, Christine.
thank
Um,
you.
you're welcome. I want to say energetically what's happening right now. We are all, I feel like I say this every time I come on. We are in such a huge shift. And I feel like now more than ever. Good morning, Laura. Laura Brecken's on. Yay. Everyone continue sharing this out. I want as many people as possible to tune in and learn more about Chris and her gifts in communicating with animals and being a part of this journey today, because Christine is she's an exceptional being here on Earth.
Oh, thank
Christine
you.
is someone that I look up to, that I admire, that has done for so much for me in my life, just being a loving sister. So I'm very excited to have her on. So everyone share out. We do have a winner of last week who shared out the most. Her name is Jen Hunt. Jen, I will be getting in touch with you because you shared out my show by far the most times. Thank you so much for that last week. So you'll be getting a free complimentary 45-minute session, Jen. Uh,
Cool.
so hi, Wanda, tuning in from Alberta, Canada. Yeah, everyone let me know where you're tuning in from. I want to know, where you're coming in from around the world. That's the most exciting thing about these online shows is people tune in from all over the place. So you're getting energy and vibration. We're coming in as a collective, and we're hitting a center point of energy and vibration that allows all of us to expand even farther and wider. And that's what's so wonderful about this. So let me tell you, Cindy Aldrich just, hello, Christine. Um, I want to talk to all of you for a moment first about what's happening energetically for all of us right now. I've talked about, last week I was talking about the Schumann resonance, which is the lower band of frequencies in the electromagnetic field of Mother Earth. Okay, it's called the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance vibration, the hertz of the Schumann resonance vibration has been hitting higher points than it ever has before. And so we have scientists trying to figure out, how to even manage through, trying to figure out, not trying to figure out, let's say, they're predicting what that means for us as humanity and for all the things on Earth. And with the vibration raising, the electromagnetic frequency of Mother Earth raising, what that means for us is the water in our cells, our own beings are raising a vibrational frequency. Everything's shifting, changing. The oceans are rising. There's a lot more weather. There's a lot more activity happening globally, and they see it continuing to trend in that direction. What does that mean for you within yourself? That means you're experiencing new levels of consciousness that require you to clear out your old crap. No longer, right? No longer can you tolerate these habits that don't serve you. No longer can you tolerate, beliefs that don't adhere to your highest and best interest, fears. Maybe there's things in your life, there's work situations, there's relationships, wealth, financial stuff that you can't tolerate anymore. And I have to tell you, it's time to make a change in your life. I'm doing the spring cleaning right now. This is a big part of what I'm up to in my life. I have been clearing out. Chris can vouch for that. She actually brought a bed over for my 12-year-old son yesterday because I'm tall. I'm 6'1". My 12-year-old son is already, at least 5'9", and he's 12, and he keeps growing. So she brought over a much larger bed for him yesterday, but we had to clear out the house, and we had to clear out the garage and reorganize the garage. I have like 25 bags of stuff to get rid of. I literally, plus pieces of furniture and other things. So I'm doing the spring cleaning in like high velocity mode. Really, and I don't remember the clean and tidy lady that everyone's been talking about, that everyone
Marie Kondo.
What's her name?
Marie Kondo.
Marie Kondo. Oh my gosh, I've been getting into her stuff. And I'm like, I'm assessing everything throughout my house. Have I used it in the last, week? Am I going to use it? Am I not? And so I'm in the process of clearing out stuff in my house. And this for me is a big, you look at everyone, we're all looking at our lives right now. Oh, by the way, Christine, I have Stephanie Dumont's comment on the screen, and she says, "Good morning, Mama. Love watching you shine." So she's excited to see you on here.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Heather says she needs to go through a closet. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time that that we look at our own lives, okay? Not seek other people or other things to change us from within. It's time that we now look within ourselves and determine what has got to change in your life. If you really want to step into this process of awakening, okay, shift into a higher state of consciousness that is more in resonance with who you are, you have got to look within yourself to determine, what do I need to shift, and step into it with motivation, intention, and wonderment. Where is this going to take me? What does this mean for me if I choose to leave my current job and step into what I really love to do? Or this relationship that's no longer working out, I feel drained every time I'm with this person, every time I deal, you've got to start looking at things that you're doing that are not serving you and change it, shift it. It is extremely, extremely important right now. You will be continually, what is the word I want to use? You'll be continually notified by the universe. Tap, tap, tap. It could be a feather, a brick, or a Mack truck hitting you, letting you know what you need to change and shift in your life. So it is time to look within. It's not up to me or anyone else that does this work and shares the knowledge. You have to go within you and determine what habits, what thought patterns, what perceptions, what judgments, what fears, what perceived blocks no longer serve me and gotta go. It's time for you to look at that and step into that, sit in it, and determine what's best for yourself. If you need support, that is a lot of what I do. I'm all about supporting shifting the subconscious mindset. and helping you alchemize on all levels so that you can live your centered best life in health, wealth, relationships, and love. And if you go on my website, you can do a 30-minute consultation with me, and we can talk about what your needs are and where you need to go. Along those lines, I'm going to mention for new people coming on right now, whoever shares this out the most, because I can see and track who that is, will receive a free 45-minute session with me, complimentary. Jen Hunt from last week, if you're listening, you get that 45-minute session. I just went through last weekend, so I'll be messaging you this morning. So please share this out, because, oh my goodness, today I have one of my favorite people in the whole world on to talk about animal communication. I want you guys to start messaging and letting me know if you have animals that you're curious about, if you have animals that have passed over, and learn more about how to connect in with your animals, which is so important. I want to start by talking about Christine for a moment. Her and I met, I think it was about, 6 years ago now? We were figuring it out the other night at dinner. Yeah, so we met about 6 years ago with a group of women that was at a channeling session or reading, and the channel said you were all sisters in the 1500s in Ireland.
Oh yeah, in Ireland.
And so Christine and I, it was like all the women in that room at that time, we all looked at each other, there was like 7 of us, looked at each other like, yes, this resonates, this makes sense. From that moment on, I had a very special connection with Christine. Since that moment, her and I have shared so many precious experiences together. And I'm going to let her talk about her journey a bit and what she's been through for the last several years. But I will tell you guys this. Chris is one of those sisters that I have been able to rely on as a backbone, as one of my best friends for these 6 years. She has showed up when she's needed to show up. She has done the hard work, the things that maybe other friends might shy away from, to support me in moments. She has supported my family, every aspect of my life. She has been there, and we have done that for each other. We have reciprocated equally in terms of our gifts.
Yeah.
Christine here is my Reiki master. She is very, very powerful energy healer and conduit. She has a very strong angelic vibration. She does angel Reiki. And what she's most into right now is animal communication. So although she's a master at what she does, and she's been doing it for several years, she has not been out there publicly.
Right.
This is kind of her. We were on a summit together. I brought her on and she did an interview. So that's been running through this woman's summit for the last couple of weeks. But other than that, this is the first time publicly Christine is out here calling herself an animal communicator with her magnificent gifts. I can tell you, she's one of the most loving beings I have ever known, period. No matter what she's been going through, she has been solid as a friend and as a loving person. So,
wow.
I'm so happy.
You make me so wonderful. Thank you.
That's because you are wonderful. Anyone on here tuning in that knows you knows how amazing you are. So, I just wanted to share that in terms of how important you are in my life.
Oh, well,
and how much we share.
Mutual.
Yeah, she's editing my new book I have coming out soon. It's a book I'm channeling with Dr. Wayne Dyer, and she's been my editor. And I've had people, very prominent people, read this book and say it's excellent. Let's put it that way. So she's one of my mainstays, and I love her dearly. So, Chris, do you want to talk a little bit about your story and how you got to animal communication?
I can, yeah. It's taken me years to get where I am. I've had animals. I would say I didn't have a lot of pets growing up. My parents weren't pet people. But once I got out of college and had my own space, I wanted to get animals, and so we started with cats and or a cat, I should say, and um, I don't know. I guess it probably hit me about 15 years ago that I had more than just a regular human pet relationship with my animals. Um,
Are you gonna tell me a story about that?
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, it kind of started, and Reiki really was the key to getting it going. Um, but I remember of course, this happened on a weekend. My dog was having my golden retriever was having some kind of um, spasms in her stomach. It almost looked like she was having like hiccups or dry heaves or something like that. And I was laying next to her and I said, I wish I could feel what you're feeling, because I want to be able to zero in on, where to put my hands to fix it, or, or just Reiki to help it or whatever. And all of a sudden, I felt it felt like I had a huge, those, to ask me about my belts, those things that like the weightlifters wear. It felt like I had one of those wrapped around my stomach, and it just got tighter and tighter and tighter. And then it loosened up. And then it got tighter and tighter and tighter, and it loosened up. So she was showing me what it felt like. So I, immediately just, put my hands on her, and within about 20 minutes, the spasm stopped. And I thought, okay, this isn't a coincidence. So I started playing with it. And I found a wonderful animal communicator here locally in Escondido, California, named Cindy Richardson. And she's phenomenal. And she was offering a class. So I went to her house, and there was a small group of us. And at the end of 4 hours, I was so, I won't say overloaded. It was a happy overload. And I had a headache. Because we were trading pictures of each other's animals, and we were, asking questions, and, and just verifying and testing each other to make sure that we were really doing what we were doing, because there's a lot of trust involved with this. Because when you hear another voice in your head, you start to want to think that you're a little nuts. So you do, So
I want to say for a moment, you talked about helping your dog and how you listened. It was like you said something like, I wish there was a way I could feel your pain so I could understand, right? And help you.
Right.
In that moment. So when you just said that a minute ago, what I saw was that you opened your heart in that moment to your dog's heart, to your animal's heart space.
Yeah. Right.
You literally opened your heart. It came through the heart. When you said that in that moment, it came through the heart space.
Yeah.
And so
you're right. That's where it all comes.
Open to the frequency of your pet.
Exactly.
And we're able to all of a sudden communicate with your animal. So I would venture to say right off the bat, whoever's listening, if you want to learn how to communicate with your animal on another level, step one is quieting the mind and opening the heart, truly speaking through the heart to your animal. So not trying to figure it out mentally, but instead use the heart space to begin that open line of communication.
That's exactly right. Because if you try to use your mind, it won't work, first of all, and you'll overthink it. And that's the depth of it. So yeah, that's really where it started. But I didn't know it at that point. I was playing with it, and I was still very much in my head, but I was dabbling in it. So the biggest.
I have a good question. I have a good question here. Heather says, is it that other voice? Is it your voice you're hearing, or is it like a different kind of voice?
It can be either. A lot of times it's my own voice, but one time, and I was actually perfect question. I was just about to tell this. my son and I were taking care of my neighbor's desert tortoises. She had two desert tortoises and they were huge. And they were away for the weekend, so we were giving them their salads. And so we went over, and I had just taken this class with Cindy. And so I said, I wonder if I can talk to a desert tortoise. So the one tortoise, he was so into his salad, he didn't care.
Were these like big ones? Were these really big?
Oh, yeah, they're huge. They're
like giant ones that are like 100 years old. Really
they're, I mean, they're the size of those saucers that you go down this hill in the snow on. But so we had these little tin plates of lettuce and vegetables and stuff. And so the one guy, I introduced myself, and I said I would be honored if you would speak with me. And he said, okay, you had a British accent. And I heard a man's British voice in my head. And I thought, I'm making this up.
The tortoise, yeah.
Yeah, there's no, and then in my thinking little mind, I had to think, okay, why would a desert tortoise have a British accent? That makes no sense. But you've got to dispel that, because you don't know who that soul is in that vessel right there. So
true.
So so we chatted for a little bit, and I said, I do Reiki. Would you like some Reiki? So he crawled over to the gate where I was, because I was not going in that pen because they were really intimidating. He crawled over to the gate, and he climbed up, put his two front paws, feet, whatever they are, on the gate, and looked up at me. And I held my hands over the gate.
Wow.
Gave him Reiki. And I said, I'll stay here as long as you like. Okay. And and then after a few minutes, he climbed down the gate and said, I don't even remember if he said thank you or not, but he was obviously more interested in his food. But what a gift. What a gift it was.
Yeah.
He took the time to talk to me, even though his food was right there. That's a big thing for an animal. So it was a very cool experience, and that's what made me believe, okay, I'm really doing this. I'm not making this up in my head.
And now you've been doing it for years. I mean, you've helped a lot of friends, right? You've helped a lot of friends with like their animals that are close to passing. You've helped them through that process.
Yeah, and that's such a hard time for a family to know that their pet is failing. And again, that's such an honor, and very humbling to be present when that animal transitions. And I've had to help my animals, a number of animals transition myself, and it's heart-wrenching, because none of us is qualified to play God, but I feel like that's what I'm doing by saying, okay, your life is now over. And it's a challenging time, but being able to hold space and just bless the whole process. It's an honor to be involved with that and to be asked to be part of that. It's huge. It's huge.
This is pretty amazing. I love how this conversation is flowing, because we just got a comment or a question from someone I think is really good.
Yeah.
Does grief over losing your pet block the flow of communication? If so, any guidance on how to move through the pain? Thank you. So I think this is two parts. You can answer that and also explain how you bridge that, right? Because you're communicating with their animal, and the animal's able to tell you, which you communicate with them, things like, it's okay, I'm ready to go, or I'm done with pain, or whatever needs to be told to the family. You're able to tune into the pet and provide that. So that's a bridge. And then also, how can people, through your experience, can it block people in terms of being able to try to communicate and how to keep their heart open, I guess?
Oh yeah. Well, grief is up here. Grief is in your head, and it is in your heart too. But it's a human construct that you're grieving. Because now I realize, in working with animals who have passed, that they're grateful that they're human, let them go. They're grateful that they're human, help them transition. And they're by and large, they're
Right.
happier where they are because they're happy, they're free, they can, they're hanging out in the spirit world, and they're just, there's tennis balls everywhere, for dogs.
Tennis balls and water holes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And lots of things to sniff. So yeah, it can grief, I think, can certainly block the flow, because when you're grieving, your heart's open in a different way.
Mhm.
Your heart is just, it's hurting, and
Mm.
you're vulnerable. But I can tell you that one experience that I had with my dear cat Merlin, years ago. He had passed not long ago, and he passed. Boy, the timeline is really blurry for me because so much has gone on, but in my life. But um, I was experimenting with Reiki and learning about it, and playing with it, and he had passed, and I one night I was laying in bed, and I said, Merlin, I miss you. And I want to send you Reiki, even though I don't know where you are. And I felt this wave, and it started
Mhm.
at my feet, and it came all the way up to my head. And it was like this wave of emotion. And in my head, I heard, "Where have you been?" And it
Wow.
was him. And he just, I wept. I was lying in bed, and I was just crying because I was so happy to feel
Mhm.
him and to hear him, and it was a really all-encompassing experience.
Mhm.
And what I realized is that, what you were saying earlier was absolutely spot on. It all has to do with the heart. You tune into the wavelength of the animal with your heart, and you almost, I won't say you become the animal, but you just tune into that frequency, and that's when the communication begins. It's all in the heart, completely in the heart. So does that answer the question?
That was amazing, actually.
Cool, thank
Yeah,
you.
I think you really, you said a couple things that I think are really important. Number one, grief is in the mind
Yeah,
because the heart knows you're just transitioning to another frequency or vibration.
right.
And that's actually a celebration of the shift.
Hmm.
But the human aspect of us thinks, I'm going to miss you. It's going to hurt. It's going to be
Right,
painful. And when you do that, you send the signals to the heart, and the heart feels the pain.
right.
But our
Yeah,
spirit, our soul knows that that animal is just shifting to another vibration, or that person that passes over is shifting to another vibration. So I
yeah.
think you speaking about grief, starting in the mind and the preparation,
Hmm.
moving to the heart
Yeah,
space is
and
very
that's an important point too, because
true.
when you have an animal who's failing, um, you you start that, it's almost like you're sitting Shiva in your mind. You know that process is coming,
Mm.
and also it's so accelerated in an animal because they have a shorter lifespan than we do. So a person can survive, after cancer treatment, for a long time, but with a dog or a cat or another animal, their metabolism is much higher, and it doesn't take as long. And that's, and actually, I mean, my golden retriever Mandy, she died of a heart attack. My son was actively petting her, and he said, "Mom, she's doing something weird with her mouth." And I looked, and I didn't know it was a heart attack. It almost looked like dry heaves.
Right.
So I said, just keep petting her, just keep talking to her, keep soothing her. Um, and then he said, "Mom, her eyes are fixed." And sixth graders don't talk like that. And I said, "Wait a minute, this is." And I was mad at myself because I didn't realize she was leaving.
Mm.
And I reached out to my Reiki community at the time, and I said, "I feel like I failed her. My
Mm.
dog died under my son's hand, and I feel like I failed her."
Mm.
And everybody right, everybody said the same thing. They said she did not want you to know that she was leaving. She hid it from you, because and the beauty is that she had the choice. So she chose not to prolong it. That's what she decided. And she left. And it was so hard on us because it was so sudden, but it was the best for her. And I was really glad that she had that choice and made that choice. So it was good. It was good in the long run. It was good. Hard, but good.
Right. So for everyone out there, so Chris has been doing this for years and helping her friends, communicate with the animals. Let's say there's behavioral issues or what the heck is going on. I am always asking her about my animals. I have a farm over here practically. I love animals. I have snakes, dogs, cat. And so she's a very clear communicator, and she can help you if you have an ailing animal, if you want to, if you have an animal that's passed over and want to communicate with that animal that you love dearly that is crossed over. If you have an animal with behavioral stuff going on or want to ask questions, Chris is here to help you. So there's a couple of things I want to mention. Number one, share this out as much as you can right now, because whoever shares this out the most will get a 45-minute session with me. Jen Hunt from last week, if she's listening, I will be in touch with you because you'll get a 45-minute session with me for sharing this out. Number two, Chris has a website that she just put up. It's called NorthStarAnimalCalm.com. It's actually in this broadcast. It's in the post. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to type it in here. Star, no, not Animal Star. I said Animal Star.
North Star.
Animal Calm.
Yeah, calm.com. I didn't realize.
And I have to give a shout out to Sharon. Sharon's on. Chris, Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. Oh, our Sharon.
Yeah, Sharon. She's here listening too. She's all excited.
I love Sharon.
Anyway, I think this is right. North Star Animal. No, I did it wrong. Darn it.
No, you did. You got it right.
No, I didn't.
You didn't? It's my own website.
I spelled it wrong. Animal North Star. Oh, no, I did do it right.
Oh, you did do it right.
North Star Animal. Okay. Sorry, guys. Anyway, this is her website. She's got very, very low, for her, the level of her work, it's more than reasonable. Let's put it that way. If you guys want to start working with Chris, she's got a site up and live regarding your animals. And if you want to learn more about your pets, you guys, there's been a lot of people, Chris, asking about their pets or communicating. You can definitely go through here and comment, after the show, Chris. If you're willing, you can go through here and, connect with these people about their animals and stuff like that.
I want to mention too that if they go to the website, I've got a free meditation you can download.
Oh my goodness. Here's the most important thing about her. Well, not that important. You should work with her because she's phenomenal and she's extremely loving, and she'll help you. Her whole thing is help the pets and the family.
People,
right?
Yeah.
She's even going to help with adoptions and stuff like that. Like, what's the right kind of animal for you? Is this a good pet? That kind of thing. Right. She knows Chris is helping the family more than she's even helping the pet. Sometimes the pet has information to give the family about stuff going on in their lives or whatever. Chris will communicate that regarding the animal. So highly recommend you go to her website. Here's a very important reason why. Chris has channeled, I have goosebumps. Chris has channeled a meditation for you to listen to, not too long. How long is the meditation?
It's about 8 minutes.
She's channeled an 8-minute meditation to get you into a state of practicing communication with your animal that's currently here or has passed over. If you guys want to learn how to start, communicating with your animals, or you feel like you have a gift and you want to just, bring it online and make it clearer or whatever that is, Chris has created a meditation. So you go to her website, the thing pops up, you put in your email and name, and you get this 8-minute meditation for you to listen to start connecting with your pets.
Yeah.
Several people.
It's not hard.
No, and a lot of people have already, been picking this. She just started her website not that long ago, and a lot of people have already been picking it up, and
Yeah,
she's been getting amazing feedback about the
yeah,
meditation. She's been getting really good feedback
yeah.
regarding meditation and how they're able to start
Yeah.
communicating with their pets.
Can I, if I can tell a short story about that?
Tell a story.
My friend Elizabeth she recently moved across the country, and she's in an area now where there's a lot of wildlife, and her three little dogs are getting used to that. They're getting used to the winter, but her one dog will not stop peeing in the house. They will stand there first thing in the morning. They will open the door for her, and she will not walk out. She will pee in front of them on the rug right there, and then go outside. So I was able to talk to her, and she said she's so freaked out by all the wildlife around the house that she's got to make sure everybody's safe. So she has turf inside the house, and so I told my friend, I said, download the meditation, and talk to her. You can do it, because she's another one of my Reiki students. And so she called me back later, and she said, I was able to talk to my dog, and she does not think that my partner and I are capable of keeping her safe. So she has taken it on herself to make everybody safe. And she told me that she purposely peed on the dining room rug because it's so big that I can't roll it up and throw it in the wash.
So, she's marking her territory. She's
marking her territory to make
wildlife.
Broadcasting that this is my turf and stay away. So I thought that was kind of hilarious.
So Chris is giving an example of her friend Elizabeth doing the meditation and being able to connect with the dog that has been peeing in the house consistently forever. I wonder, was she able to talk and say, "Can you please stop"?
She's tried to convince her, and they. I think last time I checked with her, she said since last Tuesday she hasn't peed in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hope that continues, because that's
pretty
amazing.
That's pretty amazing.
Fight.
Yeah. So I want to see what you get here. So this Heather, and like I said, you guys comment on here, and Chris says that she'll go through after and communicate with you guys.
Yeah.
Heather says, I'd love to know why Tuda will only go potty on the potty pads and not in the litter box. This is new in the last year.
Okay, there's a lot of things about that. And mind you, I can communicate with him. I know a lot more. I know a lot about cats, but I'm not a Jackson Galaxy. I'm not a cat behaviorist, but there's a lot of litter box issues are huge with cats. Maybe they don't like the litter you're using. Is the cat declawed and maybe the litter is painful for them? Maybe you're not cleaning it frequently enough, which if you're asking about it, you probably are. But a lot of times I'll scoop out my cat's litter box twice a day. Also, a lot of people don't have enough litter boxes. You should have one for each cat and then one more. Because cats are very territorial, more so than dogs. And if their litter box isn't clean, they're going to have a problem with it. Be grateful that they're using the pad. But I've had the situation where I actually watched where's Zachy? He's not around anywhere. He was in the room a little while ago. My cat, I watched him look at the litter box. He came into the room, looked in the litter box, and then purposely peed right next to it, 6 inches away. I was like, seriously? So yeah. So there's a lot of litter box issues, but like I said, be grateful they're using the pads. But my first thought would be to go to the litter, because with Zach, when I adopted him, he was already declawed, and they messed it up. And I did a lot of research, and I found a litter called Precious Cat, and it's designed for kittens, and it's got very small granules, so it's a lot easier for a cat with a painful foot. It's designed for new kittens. So it's a lot less painful for a cat to dig through. So, and it also has pheromones in it, so it attracts the cat to the litter. There's a lot of variables around litter.
Do you have anything like tuning into her cat Tuda?
Tuda. He doesn't like the litter. Is it scented? Maybe. Maybe he doesn't like the litter. I think there's a strong smell that's not his smell. It sounds like there's, I don't know, maybe you're using some kind of a scented litter. That's the sense I'm getting. But without talking to him, without seeing him, it's hard to pick up on.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's the thing, guys. If you communicate with Chris also has a business site on Facebook, North Star Animal Communication on Facebook. Pictures are great for her, so she gets a lot out of the picture of the animal. Unfortunately, on Facebook comments for live chat, you can't put in pictures. So, like I said, I highly recommend, you guys go to her website, get the meditation, and sign up for a session. It's believe me, it's more than reasonably priced. Very, very low for what she's offering, because she knows how important this is for people.
Because I don't know anybody who says, "Oh, I wish they could talk." I wish they could tell me what's going on. I'd love to be able to tell them this. I'd love to. We're having a baby. I'd love to be able to explain this to my dog. There's a lot of circumstances where it would be easier if you could explain it, in language or pictures, or however the animal communicates. Because sometimes it's just a picture. My Merlin, I asked him recently if he was back in a body, and I got a flash image of a little black kitten. So I'm happy to know that he came back as another kitty. That was a good thing. Yeah, I know. I miss my Merlin. So.
Well, Christine, I love you with all my heart. And maybe, I was thinking maybe you could offer a special for the people commenting on here today to support them. You can give them some information, but maybe offer them a special if they want a lot more. Create like a special page for all these people that are tuning in. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
That'd be cool to offer them a special. So maybe when you get off here, you could create something. Think about what you want to offer to answer.
Yeah, now that I'm a webmaster.
You are a webmaster. Hey, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could answer stuff on comments here, and then let them know about the special on your site to give them the link to the special for them tuning in today. Because what happens is you start answering questions, and then it gets into a lot more about the family or the this or the that. So I think that would be good. Cindy says this has been very informative. There's tons of comments flying. Wait till you see them all. Heavily participating. They've been listening to the stories. They've been excited.
I'm so grateful for this.
That would be amazing. So if you offered some sort of special for all the people tuning in today, so that you can take time with each person and talk to them about their family, about their pets, maybe their past or that are current, whatever it may be. Someone's got their pet on. Someone put their pet. Is that a cat? Oh, that's hilarious. Holly Westall. It looks like she's better, unless I'm not seeing that right. It's a real small icon, so I could be wrong. But
cute.
Cat up as her picture right now. Anyway, I want to say to everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today.
Yes,
it was amazing to bring on one of my besties in the whole universe. My angel sister, my love. I love you with all my heart, Christine.
Well, I love you too, man. And I actually, in 30 seconds, can I say that Amanda has been instrumental in helping me come out of hiding. She's worked with me for a couple months now, and in just, learning how to access my gifts, how to trust my gifts, and how to give birth to this whole process. It's been amazing. It's taken me way out of my comfort zone, but it's been a really good thing. And I'm really grateful to you, Amanda, for kicking me in the pants and helping me do that. So thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I love you to the moon and back.
Thank
So,
you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, just 2 seconds. What she's talking about is I have a 90-day mind alchemy program
mm,
where her and I started with clearing all the subconscious crap that was stopping her from
yeah,
stepping into this role full time.
yeah.
So we started the first month was all about clearing out all the subconscious stuff that was stopping her from
Mhm.
doing this publicly like this. Coming out with her gifts, feeling confident enough. So that was the first month. The second month, all of a sudden, she went fast forward. We were doing
Yeah,
family healing stuff with her. I was doing all sorts of things. And we went through the whole process. Then the second month was, okay, let's hit the ground running. Now it's time to get your website up. I told
yeah,
her how to do her website. I told her what she needed to do. She has business cards and she's now online doing her animal communication. So this is
yeah.
a very specific program I have going on. I need to get a video testimonial of you talking about the shift within
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm there.
because yeah,
Yeah.
you went from having the filled
0 to
with
60. Yeah.
fear, just you were like, I can't meditate, right? I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. I'm like, what the heck? You're my Reiki master. Stop it. But it's that self, thought
Oh, it's
patterns
the monkey mind.
up.
It's the
And
monkey mind. Yeah,
the subconscious crap that keeps all of us lock and chain from doing our best here on earth.
absolutely.
She's done the work with me and she has shifted. She's done the work. It's up to you, right? I can teach you all day
Oh,
long. It's
it
up to
all
you to
comes
do
from
the work.
inside.
So
You can't depend on anybody else.
yeah.
Um, it all
Yeah.
has to come from in here. But you've guided me to bring it out, and that's critical.
Thanks, Mama. Yeah, so if you go to my website, amandamariemasters.com, there's a 30-minute consultation if you want to talk about the Mind Alchemy program. You're looking into shifting big aspects of your life that you you need support with. I'm here. And I taught her how to do her website. I got her online. She's got her business cards, which she designed because she's amazing. So that's what I do. That's what I
Yeah,
do.
and I'm living proof. So
Oh, I love you with all my heart. I'm getting tons of compliments. Not compliments, but comments on great show today. Awesome. Katie is like, amazing show. Love you too. Like everyone, this is
thank you, everybody. Thank you.
rolling.
So
Beautiful confirmations for you, Chris.
I'm so grateful.
Beautiful confirmations.
And I will help everyone I can.
Aw.
Yeah,
She
I
loves
will.
it. Chris
Yeah, I do. I love my animals. There's my Zachy.
Oh, is he here? Is he here?
He's finally here, yeah, but he's being aloof. He's sitting over there, and his eyes are closed, so he's like, "You're talking to."
I love it. Okay. Laura says, thanks for bringing your gifts to the world.
Oh, thank you, Laura. You're welcome. I'm happy to do it.
I love you all. We
Yeah.
gotta get off. I actually am I'm doing a children's meditation program. I'm hosting a children's meditation program show next on something else on another platform at 9. So
You gotta go.
thank you
So-
very much for coming on, Chris. I love you with all my
Oh,
heart. You
thank you,
rocked
man.
it today. You were
My pleasure.
you were like an old pro that has done this forever.
Cool.
Amazing.
Glad to hear it.
Amazing.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, this is who Chris is, guys. She just rocks it no matter what she does. Anyway, I love you all. Tune in to Spirit Sessions with the amazing Rhonda Elliott, Bex Marie, and Teresa Warren. 3 wonderful women coming up next year on the Akashic Academy Network. They always have amazing guests on and interesting shows. I love you all. Tune in next Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time for your Elevated Living Show. I'm Amanda Marie Masters, your host, and have a wonderful rest of the day, everyone. Take care.
Bye.